how much easier would it be for you to hit 5 to 10K per month with copywriting if you already had 3 years of in the trench experience? Well, that is exactly what I'm about to give you here in this very video. Because within just the last 3 years, not only have I myself have been able to make over 10K per month with copywriting, I've also helped multiple of my students do it, and their interviews are on this very channel. But I've also built a business that grosses us over $1 million every single year. So look, if there's anyone who can actually show you how to master the skill of copywriting and make money with it, it's me. And look, in case we haven't met before, my name is Tyson 40. I'm known around these parts for putting my $1,000 copywriting courses on YouTube for absolutely free. If you checked out my channel, you'll know that I have a free 4-hour copywriting course that's gotten almost 2 million views. So if that doesn't say something, if that right there doesn't tell you that what we're talking about is the most valuable stuff on YouTube, then I'm not really sure what will. And look, I have distilled everything that I've taught in all of my free courses, right? I have a free 8-hour course, a free 4-hour course. I probably have 20 plus hours of free courses on this very channel. And I've distilled everything, all of the top information in this one video for you so that you can take action and see progress as soon as possible. Which perfectly leads me into my very first point of knowledge, my very first golden nugget for you guys, which is you are much closer to changing your life than you realize with copywriting. In fact, you are literally only one outreach away. And if you're asking how I know this, not only have I seen it with every single one of my students who gets their first $2,000, $3,000, or $4,000 per month copywriting client and now gets to quit their job and become a full-time copywriter, it's also happened to me before as well. I was struggling to get a client. I've gotten some good deals here and there, but nothing actually recurring. Nobody actually paying me $2K or $3K every single month. And I was literally about to quit. But just in 1 week, I not only got my very first 2K per month client, but I also got my very first 3K per month client. And all I needed was 2K per month to actually quit my job. It was hilarious because I got on the call with the dude who was my 3K per month client, and he literally paid me for 2 weeks, so 1.5K right there on the call. I immediately left that Zoom call and called up my boss and put in my 2 weeks. And that one day literally changed everything for me. And so many people underestimate how quickly this can happen to them because their logical brain kicks in and think, oh, well, if it was really that easy, everybody would do it. And this seems a little bit too good to be true. Look, dude, it was not easy whatsoever. And it was not an overnight success. I'm telling you this story, but I was multiple months in my copywriting journey before I finally took off income-wise. I'm not saying that first day you can get a bunch of deals and make a bunch of money. But what I am saying is that you should wake up hyped every single day to do your outreach and try to find clients and not think of it as a drag or as something that you have to do, but something that you get to do. Because all it takes is one opportunity, and you can not only change your own life, but also change life for the people who are in your life, your loved ones. So use this fact as fuel next time you actually start learning about copywriting, next time you go out there to do your outreach, or next time you start writing your next piece of copy. Really understand how quickly things can change for you. Which also leads me to my second most important lesson as a copywriter, as someone who's been in the game for 3 years and has been wildly successful, not only with copywriting, but also with business as well, is that you should start outreaching from day one, if not week one. And I want to actually go over a comment that I got on one of my free courses. It says this: no, please, you cannot be serious. And this is about me saying that you should outreach as early as possible. Come on, Tyson, that doesn't make any sense. You are just giving us false hope with statements like that. So let me just hit you right where the rubber meets the road. Okay, I'll just give you the bottom line up front here. You being afraid to get clients too early is a lot like when a girl is afraid to go to the gym or lift weights because she thinks if she works out for 1 month, she's all of a sudden gonna look like Arnold Schwarzenegger and be completely swole to the socks. And obviously that is not going to happen, okay? You're not going to suffer from too much success. Look, your first month or two of outreach basically doesn't even count. Now, yes, I've had many students who have gotten lucky and gotten their first retainer client or gotten their first $1,000 per month client in 2 weeks, okay? And again, I completely tell you that this is luck. But the thing with copywriting is that you really can earn while you learn. The thing is, if you have a $1,000 per month client or a $2,000 per month client, people will hire you. But you're not going to sit there and lie about your experience or pretend that you have experience. But the thing that's actually going to make the 2K or 1K per month worth it for them is that you are disciplined enough to learn the skills that need to be learned in order for you to do the job. For example, my very first client, it was commission only, and he had me in his email service provider actually sending emails and creating automations, which I had zero clue how to do. I had never seen the inside of an email automation before in my life. Now, everybody wants to be ready before they actually play ball. Man, you will never be ready. You are going to be in a place that you never knew you would be, and you're gonna have no idea what to do. But that's okay. That's how you start. You're never gonna know the path and know every single thing to do before you actually get your opportunity. If you do what a lot of other people are saying, which is, oh bro, you should practice for 6 months before you even try to get a client, all you're doing is wasting time. And I'll tell you why. Copywriting is a skill and outreach is a skill. So you might as well get better at them simultaneously rather than trying to get good at copywriting for 6 months and then try to outreach and you're gonna suck at outreach for 6 months. Now it takes 12 months instead of 6 months like it could have taken. Guys, money is about speed. It's about doing things quickly, doing things fast. Why would you wait to start outreaching? Why would you wait to start getting your opportunities? Outreach today if you haven't. Outreach yesterday if you can. Take a time machine if it's possible, okay? You need to outreach as early and as often as possible. Now, again, this doesn't mean that you should try to get a client day one. It's not very likely, but you outreaching is going to build your skill and also build the habit of outreach. You want to know why most people don't want to outreach early? Is because they're scared. They're scared and they don't have the confidence, and that's okay. One of the biggest teaching points in all of business, I've worked with some of the biggest business consulting brands that there are, and it really does come down to just building people's confidence. In these high ticket businesses where they'll charge you whatever, 15 grand or 20 grand just to get advice from them, their first piece of advice is usually just to increase your price. So if you're charging people, let's say $6,000, they're gonna say, okay, now charge people 10K. The reason why people haven't charged 10K yet is because they don't have the confidence to. They're gonna say, oh, well, I don't know if people are gonna actually buy that. I don't know if it's really worth it. But you know what it helps people do? It helps force people to grow. And that's exactly what it's going to help you do. If you have in your mind, okay, I'm actually outreaching to people and I'm gonna pitch them for a $500 or $1,000 project, that means that I have to be worth that $500 or $1,000. So I'd better get my stuff together. I'd better do some real learning and some real studying and actually put the effort in. Lastly, dude, outreach, it really ain't that hard. It really ain't that bad. Outreach is chill. You literally put on some tunes, you go look for some prospects, you send some openers, you send some free value, you get on the call, you get a client. It really is not that deep, you guys. The thing is, you're making it so much harder than it needs to be, okay? Outreaching is essentially like jumping into some cold water. It's kind of painful at first, you don't really want to do it, but dude, just jump and you will be fine. And don't worry, because the more you practice copywriting, the skill will come. And speaking of skills, the number one best way to actually get really, really good at copywriting early on is to build up your inner mentor. And the easiest way to do this, okay, is to replace doom scrolling, all that scrolling on TikTok that you do, all that scrolling on Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts or whatever, replace all of that with strictly copywriting content. I actually have a playlist on this very channel called Netflix for Copywriters. And there's a reason why I call it that. It's because you should replace Netflix, you should replace all of the entertainment in your whole life with nothing but copywriting and business related videos. And what this is going to do is that all of this business and copywriting related content is going to seep into your subconscious. When you see me review copy for literally like 5 hours, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna sit down at your desk. You're gonna look at the words, and you're gonna hear my voice in your head saying, okay, make that lead shorter. Structure it like this. Make sure the CTA has a good transition. You're gonna hear me say all these things in your head. And I know this because this is exactly what I did. I just watched nothing but copywriting content, bought more courses, bought more programs, watched more reviews. And dude, this was the number one thing that actually helped me, aside from the next point that I'm going to tell you. And right before we get into that point, I first and foremost, again, want to mention where you can find a huge discography of content. If you're looking for somewhere to binge watch a whole bunch of copywriting content so that you can get better and increase your skill as soon as possible, then check out the free Copy Starter Kit. This is literally hours upon hours, dozens of hours of copywriting content. 4-hour copywriting course, 8-hour copywriting course, 2-hour outreach course, sales funnels course, email automations course. Need I go on? Dude, everything you could possibly need is right here. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of not only course content, but also templates, scripts, and resources and tools that you can use to make your copywriting journey just faster and easier. And of course, the link for that is down below in the description. And like I mentioned earlier, the next best way to get as good at copywriting as soon as possible is to get as much feedback from trusted mentors as you can. You want to know possibly the worst part about doing outreach is that you're going to get ignored, right? And you're going to get ghosted and you're going to get rejected, but you have no idea why, because people rarely actually give you a reason as to why they're ghosting you or rejecting you. They just ignore you. So how are you supposed to get any better when you don't have any feedback from your clients? Because the only way to actually get feedback or to gauge what's working and what's not is trial and error if you don't have feedback from professionals. And trial and error is the number one time pitfall of copywriters. If you want to get there quickly, you can't do it if you're just doing trial and error. I'm going to try this out. Oh, that didn't work. I'm going to try this out for 2 months, 5 months. Oh, that didn't work. That's the only way to actually make any progress as a copywriter who's only working with themselves and not getting any feedback from anybody else. Not to mention, how are you going to get great at copywriting if all you're doing is reading copy, writing copy, and then that's it, right? It's kind of like you grading your own test. It's like, okay, you're going to give yourself an A, right? You have to get somebody else to grade your test to actually get good feedback from it. And look, I also want to mention this. I think that paying for information is silly. All the information you could ever need is just already on Google, it's already on YouTube, it's already everywhere. What you should really pay for is implementation and feedback. And the reason why things like feedback are so important is because most people are going to sit there and watch videos and gather information, but they don't actually have the understanding like they think they do. I can sit here and try to teach you how to spin a basketball on your finger, for example. But I could try and show you and show you and show you, but you're gonna not actually understand every single point that I'm making and every single instruction that I give. You're gonna think you get it, but you might not actually get it. And no matter how good of a communicator I might be, or whoever you're learning from might be, you're still gonna have trouble actually understanding and implementing. But if somebody were to actually be right beside you and give you feedback on every single time that you try, think about how much quicker you'd actually learn how to do your desired action. The difference between having feedback is essentially like someone just giving you a map to try to go somewhere, rather than just following you and literally leading the way and saying, all right, just follow me and I'll take you there. And now that you know how important feedback is, let me ask you a question. Do people know how important you are? Because if you understand perceived value, they will understand how important you are and hire you in their business. Now, let me ask you just another question. I know you didn't study for this pop quiz, but just one more question. How do you know if something is expensive? Without looking at the price tag, how do you know if something is expensive? Well, you judge it based on its perceived value. And if you have a deep understanding of perceived value, not only are you going to be able to write way better copy, because you're going to be able to take whatever you're writing about and make it look as important as possible, but you'll also be able to increase your own perceived value, and you'll be able to get more opportunities, you'll be able to get more replies to your outreaches, and overall you're going to be able to actually increase your prices too, because you're a proven copywriter who has social proof instead of just a copywriter that someone's going to have to take a risk or take a chance on. How do you increase your perceived value? Well, there's essentially three main things. One is the social proof you have from the results that you've gotten from your clients. Two is your profile and what that actually looks like, how you showcase yourself. And three is the testimonials that you have gotten from your past or previous clients. And something that actually adds to all three of these is the pedigree of clients that you've worked for before in the past. So for example, if you work with some small fish Joe Schmo, that's all right. It's better than not working with anybody. But if you work with a household name that everybody knows, now, dude, it's gonna be so much easier for you to actually get clients now in the future. And not only have I seen this in my own copywriting journey, but look, you guys have heard me talk long enough. Why don't I actually put on one of my students to tell you what a difference this actually made in his own copywriting journey and how he was able to make some money with copywriting and actually be able to eventually quit his 9-to-5 job by implementing exactly what we showed him and how to build his Instagram profile. What was the secret, man? What was some of the things that I guess we helped you implement that kind of like got the ball rolling for you?
Well, definitely the outreach straight off. I did not have any social media. I was a total recluse, and y'all helped me set up my Instagram profile, exactly how it should be set up.
Mm.
And I mean, I got a client in like 2 weeks.
What was like kind of like the results, like clients wise, skills wise, like what did you learn? Like what was the big transformation, I guess you would say?
Definitely the outreach techniques,
Mm.
how to do the video intro DM, or how to just come straight out the gate with value, how to either solve a problem with outreach.
Right, right. And how
'Cause
many
I
clients did you get? And like, did you make your investment back?
made it back plus more.
Hell yeah, paid for itself.
Yeah, it really did. It's crazy.
So right there, guys, there you have it. Obviously, increasing your perceived value by building a profile is something that's extremely important to getting clients and starting to make money with copywriting. Now, because I know everybody's gonna ask, yes, there is spots left in the one-to-one mentorship where you can work with me and my team, and we can literally show you step-by-step what to do, how to get clients, how to get better at copy, et cetera, et cetera. The link for that is down below in the description if you want to work with us. And of course, if you wanna watch more copywriting videos just like this, I'll leave some on screen. That's it for today. And of course, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.